What is up, Texas hockey fans? We are officially done with the trade deadline. We played Colorado. We played Chicago last night, and we have a Mikko Rantanen bobblehead giveaway to do on today's episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, a Texas hockey podcast. I am your host, a sick host, Stone Strankman, joined always by Dom Garcia. How we doing, bud?
You know, the new recruits are on the squad now. They're kind of getting familiar with each other. And this is looking like a team that's going to have to spearhead a tough Western Conference. And I think they're ready for a playoff run.
Yeah, this weekend was interesting. If you followed my Twitter from the beginning of this season, you saw me put a ban on myself from talking about the Colorado Avalanche on Twitter. And I held true to that. From October on, the day or two after that first Colorado game, the second game of the season, I didn't tweet about the Avalanche for that long. I decided to tweet about them again because I kind of had to, right, on Friday night. Holy hell. What? I mean, the buzzwords, the For You page, like I don't see Avalanche fans on my timeline at all. I don't see them at all. What are y'all searching? Are you just searching for Stars fans, Avalanche fans? This is crazy work by you guys.
It's so weird going at a fan base that this Dallas team has beat. Like, I don't know how you find stuff to like argue on a hill with when like Dallas has kind of gotten you every year, but they do it. They do it.
It's been 2 decades since they've beaten the Stars in a playoff series.
They'll find everything though. Like they will not rest.
Avalanche forever. I'm gonna fucking destroy your account this summer. I hope I get to. Speaking of Avalanche players, Mikko Rantanen, not an Avalanche player anymore, but we have this bobblehead to give away. On Wednesday last week, I believe we did an episode and we gave you the buzzwords, which was tic-tac-toe 10 in a row, which was awesome. So great 10 win streak for the Dallas Stars. We're now on a 12-game point streak, I believe, 11-0-1. Not a big deal, but we're giving away that Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. Finally, we're doing it right now here in the first 5 minutes of this episode. I have already plugged in all 20 of your comments that said tic-tac-toe 10 in a row, which was the buzzword to get entered to win this. I've got it in a wheel. We're going to spin it now. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see who wins this. So good luck to everyone. I hope you win. And if you don't, I'm sorry. We're going to do more giveaways. So it'll work out in the end. I don't know how to say this name, but DJYCHULY YouTube comment. You have won the Mikko Rantanen bobblehead right here. So hit our line on social media, either my personal one or the Clean Sheet of Ice. Social media is at Instagram, Twitter. You can hit me up on TikTok, or just make sure you comment on this this specific YouTube one. So DJYCHULY, DJ Chuli, is that what we're going with? DJ Chuli. There we go. You've won the Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. Congratulations. Hit us up on social media so we can get that sent out to you. Or if you're in Dallas and you're going to a game soon, I can bring it with me and I can just drop it off there. Makes it easy. But yeah, hit us up. Congrats, DJ Chuli. You have won the Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. Hit us up on social media so we can send that out to you. And if you don't respond by the end of the week, I spin the wheel again and I remove your name and I find someone else to give it to. So those are the rules. That's how we do it.
Congrats, DJ. And by the way, these follower counts have been skyrocketing the past couple of weeks. I think we'll get to that next giveaway pretty soon. This trade season has been crazy, and we appreciate every single new follower.
Yeah, it was a blast. We got to 250 and we were like, yes, finally. And then we hit another 25 subscribers right off the rip for the trade deadline. And thank you to everyone that's hit the subscribe button, everyone that's hit the notification bell on YouTube to tune into every episode and never missing one. That's awesome. Shout out to Gus. Shout out to Matt. All the people that are regulars on this show, regular commenters in the streams. We appreciate everyone that's tuned in over the last year and a half, roughly, of this show. We can't wait to have many more seasons talking about Texas hockey. It's been a blast. But at 500 subscribers, we're going to give away a signed puck, a mystery signed puck of the Dallas Stars. I'm going to pick one up this week and then have it on my desk until we hit 500 subs. We might be able to add something to that later. TBD. Hopefully this month we'll get more words on that and we'll kind of have a little more of an idea, a little teaser for everyone that we do have a player guest coming on soon. I'm going to try to get something signed by them to have that into the bucket as well. So that would not be a mystery, but we're going to have a mystery puck plus hopefully something else as the 500 giveaway. we'll have a 750 giveaway, and then 1,000 will give away a jersey of your choice. Dallas Stars jersey, of course, or a USA jersey if you want to go USA gold medal route. But those are the giveaways. Thanks for everyone that tuned in. Thank you to DJ Waichuli for winning the Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. Thanks for commenting. Make sure to hit us up in the DM. That's it for the giveaway.
Yeah, no, we were hammering this giveaway, and to finally get here, it's fun.
It's a blast. And now that the trade deadline has passed, Dom, we haven't talked about the trade deadline since it happened. The Dallas Stars trade for Tyler Myers for a second-round pick, right? Future second-round pick, and then they trade for Michael Bunting, third-round pick. Didn't give up a whole lot. Didn't use all of the cap space necessarily. I think they still had about $2 million left over, but you also have Mikko Rantanen, Rope Hintz, and others on IR, Radek Foxes. So had a little cap room to play with, but you went and got a middle six forward in Michael Bunting from the Nashville Predators, and then you got a, I guess, bottom pair, maybe potential second pairing guy in Tyler Myers, right-handed D, with retention at $1.5 million, which is huge for next season. So you got another twin towers, big trees, as Owen Newkirk has called them. What did you think about the two trades and how they're going to potentially fit into this team after we watched them last night against Chicago?
Well, we said that on, I think it was the live stream, like, Dallas Stars trades are there's not gonna be any kind of bat signal or look beforehand, or maybe no, they're gonna happen on like the blink of an eye. And we literally recorded an episode, I think, that day, and then maybe an hour went by and Tyler Myers became a star. But the Michael Bunting trade, absolutely loved that. All you had to give up was that third that I think came from the Marchman trade in the offseason. To add a guy like that, he's a pest. He's going to do everything that you want a third liner or a fourth liner to do. Also, could have some time up on the top line. You never know with Glenn Goldson. And he plays a game that's his skating is sneaky fast. I think Dallas Stars are going to love him. Tyler Myers, on a personal note for me, hearing in the starting lineup from Houston, Texas, has just been, I've retweeted it, the post. It's been so awesome because for those who don't know, Houston, I think, is the fourth or fifth largest city in the United States. I was a kid in like the late 2000s, early 2000s. We didn't have a hockey league in Houston. We had one team to play for in Houston. So like the hockey community was very slim. And for a guy like Tyler to hear that getting represented for Texas hockey is incredible. And then when the trade happens, and I'm seeing all these Vancouver fans just letting us know how much of a leader he is, how well he's going to fit into this Dallas locker room and play a job. Take the skating ability away and the stick handling. He's got a hammer for a shot. I think he fits so perfect in this locker room. And there was a few fans I've seen were upset about what we had to give up. But man, like, that's just the going rate now. Like, rental deals, or however you want to look at it, in the past couple of years, you've had to give up first-round picks or second-round picks. It's okay. Tyler Myers is worth a second-round pick and some, especially at that retention that Jim Nill was able to get. And he just, man, I knew he was huge, but the length he has, like, you can pair him with so many guys. We've seen the pairing early. He's going to be a great Dallas Star. And from everything I've seen, he's handled the media. He's enjoying being with such talented guys on this roster.
Yeah, going from Vancouver, like in 2019, Vancouver was really good for their like couple of seasons ago, right? They won a playoff series. They went to Game 7 against the Edmonton Oilers, I believe, in 2024. Like, good team. And then it just completely crashed down. You have the JT Miller, Elias Pettersson scuffle in the locker room. You have all that drama. And then you trade JT Miller. Then you're just not good. And then you trade Quinn Hughes. And it's just like you're sitting there with like nothing to look forward to as a franchise. And you have a year and a half left on your deal. And you're 36 years old. And you're just kind of looking at it. You're like, there's nothing really left for me here. And for a guy that's from Houston, Texas, like, if you don't know about this show and this company, Apollo Media, we're based out of Houston. We're Houston born and bred. Obviously, I'm up in Dallas. You're down there in Houston. But this company based in Houston bleeds for Houston. So getting a Houston guy on the Dallas Stars is super cool for us as a company and as a state, because there's only been, I think, 14 NHL players from the state of Texas in NHL history, and Tyler Myers is one of them. And he's the first ever Texan to play for the Dallas Stars. That's huge. I know everyone was looking forward to Blake Coleman and all that kind of stuff, but hey, we got a Texan on the squad. I think that's huge. His nickname is either Chaos Giraffe or Big Tex. Either way, rocking with the nickname. I'm excited to talk to him in the locker room this week. Haven't been. I'm a little under the weather, so I don't want to go into the locker room and talk to all the guys. So I'm going to make sure I steer clear of that until I'm a little bit better. But hopefully this week, get to go talk to Tyler Myers. Maybe we can get him on the pod at some point, get him on a Houston Dallas Stars pod. We would love to have him there, talk about his experience growing up in Houston, his first 10 years of life. Obviously, he went to the Galleria and practiced skating. The Galleria Mall and was practicing ice skating there. That's a Texan ice skater if I've ever heard one. So super cool that Tyler Myers is coming, and obviously $1.5 million because of the retention is huge, obviously, for next year with Jason Robertson's contract coming up, Jamie Benn having to come back up, Maverick Bork having to get re-up, Nelson Lundqvist having to get re-up. So you got a handful of guys that are going to be free agents next year, and you got probably 3 that you can't really let go. I think the Tyler Myers retention helps out a lot there.
Yeah, it does. And I think when the trade went down, we had an excellent video with Stone and Savannah, and they were like, man, you can never have enough defensemen, but boy, do we have some really good ones. And it's going to be tough making calls on who's going to play, who's not. But particularly that Chicago game, I was worried because every fan was like 6'8", 6'7", put him with Bischel and just fucking raise hell. I was worried about the back end, but a couple of shifts in, and I was like, I'm not really worried about it. Tyler Myers he's such a great safety net for whoever he's paired with that you can be aggressive, which is why I kind of like the idea of him with Harley. But we're gonna have time to see, and he looks like he's already fitting in well with this roster.
Yeah, played 13 minutes last night. Nothing crazy. Goalie had mentioned that he's going to ease the new guys into the system and make sure that they get a little bit more chemistry in practice, a little bit more in the games before starting to play them 20 minutes a night. Tyler Myers is used to playing 20 minutes a night. He did say that the system is pretty easy to learn. It's very player friendly, I think is what he said last night in his post-game press conference. I wasn't there. So, yeah, Tyler Myers is huge. Texan on the Dallas Stars. That's just cool. That's just really cool for us. Jeff Kay, the PA announcer for the Stars, saying from Houston, Texas, Tyler Myers. That's just cool for us Texans, and we like to see that, us Houstonians and all that. So that's cool. Michael Bunting, I think he's going to be a really fun middle 6 forward. He's going to play a little bit on the PK. He's been there he was on power play 2 last night. I think once he gets eased into it, I think it's going to be kind of like what Max Domi was maybe a few years ago, where everyone kind of loved him immediately. I think that's what we're going to get out of Michael Bunting. He seems like a funny guy too. His nameplate said new guy. He's like, I just want to keep it. I don't need my name on it. I want new guy.
Yeah, he has that infectious energy. He plays the exact same way. He plays just with a motor that's very Colin Blackwell-esque. It's very Sam Steele-esque. And I think that's going to play well in a playoff race you're going to need that kind of depth.
Yeah, absolutely. More, and you didn't really have that left winger to go on the top line, or maybe that third line, whatever it may be. And you're kind of looking forward to having that. You kind of know what your center situation is. You're happy with your center situation. So getting another winger, I think, was a big deal. And obviously his scoring ability isn't it's not crazy, but he's also on a team that was struggling the first half of the season, and then kind of turned it on late in December in Nashville. And yeah, maybe he just wasn't playing with the right guys. So maybe it is what it is, but he's just an infectious energy. I think he's going to be a little bit of a bowling ball, a little bit of a speed demon, that kind of stuff. So looking forward to seeing how they fit in here on Tuesday. I think they'll get a few more minutes here against Vegas. Should be fun to see Tyler Myers and Michael Bunting, but that's a trade deadline. Pretty tame deadline. We haven't had this tame of a deadline in a few years. So that was nice. No chaos like last year where I was on the road to Alabama and everything was happening all at once and I was panicking a little bit. So that was terrible, but made it through, and that's okay. So we got Mikko Rantanen and Wyatt Johnston. Shout out to Jim Nill for that. I think Jim Nill did a great job with what the roster needed prior to Friday. So Friday, Stars play the Avalanche. Rivalry renewed. Twitter was a mess. It was a mess. I already said it. It was a mess. Not just for me, but for every other Stars fan out there. I missed a lot of the first period. I was picking up my wife from the airport. Didn't really listen to it. I was hanging out with her and got back, turned it on, started cooking some dinner. Absolute chaos. in the first period. You have a Cale Makar power play goal kind of right off the rip, 3.5 minutes in, and then you get a Miro Heiskanen power play goal 4 minutes later. 3.5 minutes later, you get a Wyatt Johnston goal, and then Justin Ritzkovian scores there at the end of the period, and then Nathan MacKinnon again on the power play. It was literally 3-2 at the end of the first period, and I was like, oh, it's this first game all over again. Because remember, the first game it was 3-4 there towards the end, and then Colorado ties it. It's 4-4, or maybe the Stars tied at 4-4. You go to OT, go to a shootout. It was almost a carbon copy of that game. Absolute chaos throughout the whole thing. I can't stand the Avalanche and the way that they play hockey, is what I've learned.
It was, man, it was physical, dude. It was physical. It was also a track race. And, I think Colorado is really good at finding a point in the game where there's no momentum and then just taking it. But Dallas came back with a counterpunch from hell, and they were on fire getting these pucks and making it a problem for the Colorado goaltender.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good game from the Stars. Obviously, you get a Jamie Benn and a Ritzy goal. Like, if that happens, you should probably win a game, right? Wyatt and Miro scoring, that's huge for confidence boosters. Like, that was a Wyatt 5-on-5 goal. That was massive. And then Miro power play goal. Like, we love to see them go in for them. But not a lot of shots on goal for the Stars. I thought that was kind of an issue. Couldn't get in and get quality shots on goal repeatedly, maybe, and keep that ozone pressure going. 10, 6, and 3 were their shots on goal per period, and then only 2 in overtime. But the story of this game was Nathan MacKinnon taking down Roope Hintz and what I would call a dirty play. Based on the angle that we have, it looks like he kicks his boot out from underneath him and then takes him down on his leg. It's either a hamstring, an adductor, whatever. It looks like it didn't look good for Roope Hintz. He comes off the ice and not putting any pressure on that leg at all, having to get help to get off the ice with Robo and a trainer. That was tough. And I can't stand the way that they play hockey. It seems dirty. It's a lot like what Tampa Bay did last night to Buffalo and the fucking melees that they had. That was insane. I think Colorado does that without getting into the melees. And I would rather them just get into melees and fights and stuff like that than play dirty in this sense. I would rather them just fight as opposed to being fucking irresponsible on the boards there with Nathan MacKinnon. Rope goes to finish the hit. Nathan holds him there and then kicks his boot out and then holds him down. Like, I thought that was a stupid, just pointless play by Nathan MacKinnon. And he does that repeatedly year after year. And people forget he's already hurt Rope Hintz previously in the playoffs a few years ago, hurt his wrist. So I'm over Nathan MacKinnon. I'm over what he says in the press. I'm over what he does on the ice. I'm over it.
Yeah, they were nowhere even in the vicinity of the puck, which is why, like, we're kind of the only information we have are these fan videos that aren't the best, but they are what they are, and it looks super weird. What scared me to death was just Rupe not even, like, his leg being completely still the entire time on the ice. Took a while. He wasn't even holding his knee. He was kind of more up close towards his thigh. So I'm sure goalie will keep us informed, but God, it's a brutal injury to have right now, especially as you were dealing with Mikko, you were dealing with Boxa being out, you were still playing good hockey, and you were relying on these guys like Rope to go out and be playmakers for us. And man, like, after that injury, Dallas kind of held on, but they kind of held water as much as they could later in the game. Also, just going to point this out now, if you're an Avs fan and you're listening, the refs were horrendous this game. The refs were an absolute joke. Maverick Bork was getting held, Sam Steele was getting hooked, and there were no calls being made. There were a lot of penalties in this game, but there were way more weren't called. And I'm not going to cry over spilled milk because there was moments that the Stars should have executed in this game. They didn't. And so there's, we did not lead regulation with 2 points, and we kind of deserved it for the mistakes that we made. But still, it stings knowing that there was a bunch of missed calls out there.
Yeah, so Colorado ended up with 5 power plays. I know the Stars had a 5-on-3 opportunity, and when you're missing Rope, Mikko, Your power play is just not as good. So not scoring on that wasn't necessarily surprising because the power play hasn't been necessarily fantastic over the last week and a half or so. Obviously, they've scored a power play goal in 9 straight games, which is impressive after last night against Chicago. But the 2 penalties that stuck out to me, the Maverick Bork, 2 minutes for interference on Nicholas Roy. Holy sell by the refs. Like, the guy had the puck on his stick when the contact was initiated. Thought that was a brutal thing. And goalie even said, he was like, I like that hit. I thought that was a good hit. He didn't say anything about the refs in that situation. He said it was a good hit. So that was preposterous there at the end of the first period. And I don't think they scored on that pretty much immediately with the Nathan McKinnon clapper there from the side. And then the last penalty in the game, Nathan Bastian, the trip on Cale Makar, where Cale Makar just digs the front of his blade into the ice and trips himself, where the stick is nowhere near the legs of Nathan Bastian to Cale Makar. Didn't touch him at all, and they call a tripping penalty there. Thought that was brutal because they had a lot of pressure there for a handful of minutes, and that kind of led into that pressure there at the last 14 seconds, obviously, with Val Nichushkin scoring there at the end of the third period. I just thought the refs were soft in a game that was what you could call a playoff environment, and I don't think we see that forever in the playoffs if we play each other, but I didn't like it. I didn't like the way the refs called that game. I haven't liked a lot of the way the refs have called the games this year against the Dallas Stars. I think they're soft in the regular season right now. Whereas you look at that Tampa Buffalo game last night, Brandon Hagel is sucker punching Rasmus Dahlin in the back of the head, which in 2004 became a lifetime ban from the game. Like, the guy got kicked from the league because of doing this, because the guy ends up getting a neck injury and never plays again. Like, and he got a double minor. That was it. Like, all right, if we're not going to be soft, then I'd rather that happen. Like, that should have never happened. Brendan Hagel should have been tossed from the game immediately. But if we're going to go double minor, then why the fuck am I getting a tripping call on Nathan Bastian there? Why am I getting an interference call when the guy has the puck on his stick and has just made the pass? Like, maybe less than half a second. There's so many times when Adam Ernie is flying around the ice and flying into people 2-3 seconds after the pass has been made and just making sure that they get hit. And there's never been a call this whole season when Adam Ernie does it. But then Maverick Bork makes a really good hit there on Waugh and gets an interference call when basically the puck is still on a stick. I just thought the refs were rough, and that doesn't excuse the Stars for losing this game at all. Like, they still should have won that. Obviously, with the empty netter, Justin Ritzkovic and Jamie Benn, like Ritzy said, he probably should have taken it. He was being the selfless player and giving the captain a shot. It is what it is. You lose in a shootout. I'm more upset at the refs than I am at the loss. That's what it comes down to for me.
Yeah, and the PK wasn't great, but it's understandable. I mean, you're playing against Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon. Like, it might not look perfect that night, but that was probably the most animated I've ever seen goalie behind the Stars bench, and so that was cool to see. And if you're a casual hockey fan, like, you don't have marriage to either teams, this was one of the better games of the entire regular season. Like, action-packed, great skill, great stick work. I thought Matt Duchene, he didn't play a lot, but I thought he played well. Like, there was moments to pick from, and I was kind of going into this game being like, all right, we're on 10 in a row. We've kind of been given some cupcakes in the schedule, and I don't know if we can handle the firepower. Without Mikko Rantanen, we were able to handle the firepower, and really that was our game to lose. And we still got a point, so I'm very happy for that. But I gained a little bit more confidence after that game. I gained that our third liners and fourth liners can hang on for a very long time and really wear out other teams. And this is, without a doubt, the best team this entire season, the Colorado Avalanche. And, man, like, not only were we there, we had chances to win this game. And things didn't happen, but, I mean, it's tough when you're seeing 4 or 5 calls, and even the fans are like, just huge pops, like, "Hey, where's the call on that?" And it's just not happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to refrain from talking about the refs until the playoffs. I'm gonna put a ban on the ref talk until the playoffs for me. Once the playoffs happen, literally anything is on the table when it comes to what I'm gonna say on this podcast or on Twitter. So it is what it is. But yeah, I thought, look, you score 4 goals against the Avalanche, you're in a game, right? And you've done that both times. You've gone to a shootout both times. Both times It ended 4-4 in regulation, 4-4 in OT. You go to a shootout. Both games end 5-4 in a shootout. You won the first one. They won the second one. We play them again like next week on the road there. A little bit of a later game, probably a ESPN or a TNT game, I would assume, next Wednesday in Colorado. Like, look, you can score with them even without Mikko Rantanen, even without Rope Hintz for half a game, even without Radek Fox on your fourth line there. Like, you didn't have your trade additions, and neither did Colorado, right? They added Kadri. They added Waugh. Waugh played that game, but Kadri wasn't on the ice yet. So you're not completely full of a team, and neither was Colorado technically, but they're a little bit more healthy. And you made them change goaltenders. You made them change goaltenders in the middle of the game. So you got to look at it from two different perspectives. You can be upset about the refs, but you can be pretty happy with the way that they played. Yeah, sure, you want Jake to make a couple more saves, but that's the best fucking team in hockey right now, and they score a shitload of goals. It's what they do against every goaltender in the league. Jake's not an exception there. So, yeah, I thought overall decent game. It was a fiery game. It was a passionate game, and I think that's what you wanted to see out of the Stars in that one. And obviously, you wanted to come home with a win. But at the end of the day, the deadline has passed. You're 1-0-1 against the Avalanche, and you've got 3 points against them. They've got 3 points against you. It's a really freaking even matchup, and if they both make it to the second round, they'll be playing each other. And there's no shootouts, and there's no 3-on-3 overtime. It gets a lot tougher, especially when each game is going to end 4-4 in regulation. You're going to go to OT a lot, and just like we did last year. So this team's a little bit better than it was last year, the Stars. I think the Avalanche are a little bit better as well. But that series, it comes down to like, hey, we didn't have Robo or Miro Heiskanen last year. And that's what the Avs fans were like, oh, yeah, sure. You barely won that series because Mikko came back in the third period, this, that, and the other. I was like, we didn't have Robo or Miro Heiskanen. That game's over in 5 if you have both of them. Probably. Like, if you have both of them, maybe it's over in 5, probably in 6. Like, that would be crazy to me to just be talking this much shit just because you're doing really well in the regular season. Marty Nate just disappears in the postseason too. So we'll see what happens. But Friday night was a barn burner. It was fun. It was a good game. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it was. It was.
So, yeah, obviously the win streak comes to an end. It is what it is. You get the overtime point. You move on to Sunday. I didn't go to the building again on Sunday. Came down with a little bit of weather. Didn't want to go interact with anyone in the press box or in the players in the locker room. So Chicago versus the Stars. It started off exactly the way the Chicago game started off in late or early January maybe, or late December. I can't remember. I was in Georgia watching that one, and I turned that puppy off pretty quickly at that point. But same kind of feel. Chicago gets 2 kind of early goals there, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes apart from each other. One from Tyler Bertuzzi, one from Sam Renzel. Tough start to the game last night against Chicago at home after coming off of a pretty good game against Colorado.
Yeah, and they were really awkward kind of scoring goals for Chicago. But, I mean, hey, you create your own puck luck, and it's kind of been a thing for the Stars all year. It's like if you let either Casey or Otter have crowded nets, it's never a good thing. And those are the kind of pucks that kind of weasel into the net. And that's how it started. But I think once the Stars got their breath in underneath them, and once they got that first one in, you could kind of see a change in pace, and they were getting to those pucks. Wyatt Johnston was doing his thing. Matt Duchene I'm loving the play I'm seeing from Matt Duchene. And things started to get rolling from there.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned that first goal, getting that one back. Nathan Bastian, hell of a tip. It's like a baseball bat out of the air. Double doink, which was pretty fun from Liam Bichel there, his 3rd assist of the season. Nathan Bastian's 6th goal of the season. He's got 3 goals in the last 5 games, I think. Shout out to Nathan Bastian. That was the least animated celly that Nate has had this season. That's what I noticed from it.
And it was like my favorite goal from Nate too. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, I think maybe the first goal of the season from Nate against Colorado when he was up in the muck, getting that goal against Colorado, the second game of the season. I think that's my favorite because you're just like, oh, this guy's going to be really sick. And then we realized that Nate Bastian is going to be our extra forward. Basically, he's going to come in every couple of games, every 3 games or so, play on that 4th line. He's a really fun player. He's a fun guy in the locker room, and good to see him scoring goals because that just gets the boys going, I think. And then you get to the second period, and you're saying that you're impressed with Wyatt, you're impressed with Matt Duchene. Should we talk a lot more about Maverick Bork on this podcast? I know we've been down on him a little bit this year, but holy hell, Maverick Bork, the last 2 weeks, that since the Olympic break, and maybe even a little bit before the Olympic break, Maverick Bork has seemed like a completely different hockey player. He seems confident, sure of himself, sure of his shot, sure of his offense, sure of his hitting. He's out there throwing hits left, right, and center. He's having a lot of fun. Maverick Bork gets that backhand, and it was puck luck. Like you say, you create your own puck luck. It was a sick shot by Maverick, but it goes off the post wide on the crazy backhand there, tight end net. And obviously you just have fucking chaos in front where a Chicago guy dives into his own goaltender and knocks the puck in for him. But sick shot by Maverick, create your own puck luck. He was buzzing that whole shift. So happy that Mav got the 13th goal of the season for him.
Since this win point streak has started, it feels like he's at a point per game. Like he is just always in the scoring sheet. And yeah, no, we have been singing his praises. I mean, the guy earlier in the year, we felt like, man, there's a gear that we're wishing he's at right now, and I think that gear he's found, and he's playing with it every single night too. That's the fun part, is you're seeing it every night. You're not seeing it once a week. You're seeing it every single game.
Yeah, and he had a handful of plays last night where he's trying to set up people backdoor, and like just the passes that he's making are confident. The hits that he's making, like obviously the hit last week before the Colorado game, I can't remember which game it was. Maybe it was Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and he threw that hit on that 6'8" guy because he knocked over Ernie. He throws him down to the ice. Like he's just confident in everything that he's doing right now, and I think that's a huge boost for the Stars right now. Like he's at 13 assists, 13 goals, 16 assists, like 29 points this year. Like I don't know what his career high is, but he's getting pretty close if he's not already past it. He just feels confident right now, and if we can keep this rolling into the playoffs, you got another dude on your team that you can rely on come playoff time, even if he's a little bit smaller. If he's playing that confident, it doesn't matter what the size of the dog is. It's just about the bark and the bite.
Yeah, and all of our blue liners definitely love playing with a guy like him. Like he can pair with so many interesting kind of mixing and matching. And I'm just loving seeing what he's doing out there.
Yeah, Borky's been sick. And then later in the third period, about 10 minutes later, roughly 9 minutes later, Justin Ritzkove and Maverick Bork, S. Lindell combine on a power play goal where the power play just didn't look good last night. Just didn't. The top unit wasn't really getting quality shots on goal or even like any shots on goal. And then the second unit would come in and just be like, all right, let's get in front of that and see what the fuck happens. Let's create chaos. And that's what happened. Justin Ritzkove gets the credit for the goal here. Maverick Bork's stick was on it as well. Thought that was pretty funny. Ritzy's 10th goal of the season now. Dog. What a dog. From Maverick Bork, 16th assist. S. Lindell's 20th assist. Something you love to see. If Ritzy and Borky are scoring, you got to win the game. You just need to win the game. And that's kind of what happened.
And not only at this moment, but really the whole game, I was loving the deep slap clappers from the blue line because they were creating great rebound opportunities. And we have guys that we know are really good at finding those open pucks. And you continue to do that. Like it's going to be hard for a defender to continue. Really, it's a goaltender's nightmare to have to defend your own rebound. And when you're getting high quality, fast, hard shots from the blue line, it's great team hockey.
Yeah. And then about 16, 17 minutes into the third period, Wyatt Johnson gets called for hooking on Connor Bedard. And Connor Bedard literally just held Wyatt's stick and fell down to the ground. And as Wyatt was skating to the box, he said, "That's soft," to the ref. So we're getting a little bark, a little bit more bite out of the boys, out of the guys that don't talk a lot or you don't really notice talking a lot. You're seeing a little bit more heading towards the playoffs. I think we're getting into that kind of frame of mind where, hey, every game kind of matters. We got to get down to the stretch here and get into the playoffs. We're getting a little antsy. So you saw that one. You killed the penalty off, and then the Blackhawks go 6-on-5, and 6-on-5 has been the death of the Stars. Obviously, it happens against Colorado, happens against Chicago. They keep letting goals in. And I was getting ready to tweet something last night before this goal happened for Connor Bedard, where he just flung it in and it kind of deflected off a couple of things, off of Tyler Myers' leg, actually, and then it goes into the net. What I noticed on that play before that shot goes in is that Matt Duchene and Wyatt Johnson were bullying Connor Bedard. That is not what you want to see out of your superstar guy, your number one overall pick, the guy that's supposed to carry your franchise. If Matt Duchene is bullying you and throwing hits on you while you're trying to get the puck out of the zone and stuff, holy hell, what are we doing? Because Matt Duchene does not throw hits, ever. And he was throwing them last night before that play happens. And then Wyatt finishes off the hit. Puck goes back up to the point. Connor Bedard shoots it in off of a few bodies there. So unfortunate goal. It was an own goal, basically. It goes right off of Tyler Myers' leg. He's trying to deflect it out of the range of the goal, and it just went into the perfect place where Casey wasn't sliding into. So kind of a shitty moment. But that's what I noticed from that play is Dutchy and Wyatt just kind of bullying Bedard before that play started.
Yeah, I think it was kind of just some leftover anger from the Colorado game, but I saw some fans kind of going at Casey for his performance. And a lot of these goals, especially that, I think there was one of them, there was nothing Casey could have done. Like he couldn't even see the puck. It was just, there's weird, greasy moments in this game. Casey played fine. And, you hang around and you let that net get congested, it's never a good sign. And our goalies are good enough to handle those situations, but you don't want to rely on that. And man, like the fans in AAC, like their reaction to seeing again the 6-on-5, it was not fun.
No, it wasn't. And really, the first goal, it's a really crowded net, and it was a tip from Bertuzzi, right? Like they left the guy open at the point. He got a pretty clean shot off. Bertuzzi gets the tip. Is what it is. Sam Rinzel, the next one, that's just kind of bad defense in front of the net, not making sure that puck gets tipped on that pass over to Rinzel. He sends it in pretty clear one-on-one opportunity with a goaltender. We know that's a pretty high success rate for skaters that to shoot the puck one-on-one with a goaltender. Like they're going to have a pretty good shot, especially when he's scrambling back over to that left side. And then the Bedard one is obviously like a double tip, basically, that goes off your own guy. Like Casey played a fine game last night. I don't think he was bad. I don't think he was like his best game, obviously, because there's only 19 shots on goal, but kind of faced a decent amount of pressure, crazy shots, and it is what it is. But the good thing is you go to overtime. You've already got your points secured, but you want to get back in the win column. You want to make sure it gets done pretty quickly there. All it took was 22 seconds. You win the draw. You get it back there. Miro Heiskanen play and Dutchy just kind of play back and forth there on the passing into the blue line, into the O zone. Dutchy sends a great pass over to Miro, who's streaking through the middle of the ice, and sends it a little – was it backhand? Yeah, backhand 5-hole. 6-shot from Miro. You go home happy. It only took 22 seconds. You never saw Chicago touch the puck. It was a pretty stress-free overtime there. And for that, I'm very thankful because I was able to get my win tweet off and just get the hell out of there and not have to think about it.
Yeah, and, we talk about how important faceoffs are. And to win that one is huge because it always feels like in overtime, we lose the faceoff, and then we're kind of just singing Hail Marys until hopefully there's a turnover. But no, it was fun to see. I'm not yet at peace with Miro Heiskanen might never win a Norris, and I think that's just a crime against humanity for how good of a player he is. I still I'm open to understanding why, but I still don't like it. Like he is so consistent that you don't notice his greatness because every single night you're getting such calm play out of him. And the goal scoring is not there like other defensemen are in the Norris conversation. But take that away, there's not 3 defensemen in the world that are better than Miro Heiskanen. And man, like it would be I'm trying to compare it to like NBA to where like there's a defender that just can't win defensive player of the year, but he's up there, but there's not one like Miro Heiskanen. Like if he goes his career without a Norris, it would be so awkward because he's so good.
I can compare it for Dallas fans. It's Luka Doncic not having an MVP right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, you can't put up a 33.99 stat line and not win MVP when you win 50-plus games and you're the 4th seed or 5th seed or whatever in the playoffs that year that they went to the finals. Like, Luka deserves an MVP at that point, and he got 3rd in MVP voting. Like, if that team doesn't have Luka Doncic, they don't make the playoffs, even with Kyrie and all the other guys that they made and the additions at the deadline and stuff. Like, Miro Heiskanen has 53 points right now, 9 goals, 44 assists. Like, and he's the best defender out of everyone that is in those Norris conversations. That is the difference. It is not a defending conversation. It is not about the best defender because the best defender does not score a lot of points typically. Miro Heiskanen is one of the best defenders. I'm not saying he's the best, but he's a lot better than Cale Makar. He's a lot better than Quinn Hughes. He's a lot better than a lot of the guys that are up there at the top of the Norris conversation. Werenski, I think, is in that conversation with Miro, where he scores the points, but he also plays damn good defense. We saw that in the gold medal game. Like, I think he's more deserving than a handful of other guys. It is not a point scoring competition. That goes to the Art Ross, right? And the Rocket Richard. Like that is those, you already have those marks and those trophies and those awards to give out at the end of the year. This should go to someone that competes on both ends of the ice, not just one. And Cale Makar does one. Quinn Hughes, I think he's a little bit better than Cale Makar is on the defensive side. But if I'm taking one of those three guys, I'm taking Miro all day long because I know he's going to play better defense than the other two. And he's going to give me just enough points and a little bit of offensive firepower to get me through. The kid's going to have 65, 72 points this season with some of the best defense in the league, and he's not going to be top 5 in the Norris. I think that's fucking crazy.
That's just, I can't wrap my head around that. Like, Dallas fans understand why it's absurd to me because we see it on a nightly basis. But that's the thing, is like, Luka is a perfect example because he was so consistent and he's so every night, just nothing feels out of the ordinary. And that's what you get with Miro. Like, he's so elite that it would take all world performances to even notice that like he's on a heater when every game for him is a heater for other defenders.
Yeah. I mean, we can just look at that play that when you were in the building against Edmonton earlier in the season, when you were sitting in the suite, like that play in overtime when he is skating backwards with a full speed Connor McDavid into the O-zone and knocking the puck away and stealing the puck from a full speed Connor McDavid while skating backwards, skating with him and stealing the puck from a full speed Connor McDavid. Maybe 2 guys in the world can do that. Maybe. And Miro's one of them. Like, you just see that kind of stuff on a nightly basis, the stick work, the skating ability. And then you add the power play, offensive quarterback, that kind of stuff. And just the random goals, the random assists that he gets. He's got 53 points this year. It's not nothing. That's not nothing, right? Thomas Harley did it last year. He kind of came on after the Olympic break, but like, Miro's been pretty consistent this year. He's just not scoring the goals. He's just setting up guys. And I think that's kind of Miro's personality. Like, all the goals that Miro has for this season, for the most part, are from the point. They're ones that just float through everyone or get tipped by defenders and they go in the net. Or you have the one last night in overtime where he just skates through a couple of defenders. He sees the lane and Matt Duchene notices it, sends a perfect pass over to him, backhand, easy goal. Miro gets out of there. So, yeah, I would love for Miro to get Norris recommendations. Maybe I just need to put Miro Heiskanen back on the Norris ballot for myself instead of Thomas Harley. I got a little high on Thomas Harley last year. I was ready for it this year. Obviously not a good start. I'm going to back to Miro next season. Miro 2027 Norris trophy winner. There. We're starting the campaign now.
Yeah, and hopefully other fans of non-Stars fans saw in the Olympics, like, he can absolutely carry when he has to. And it would be just a shame if like I'm hearing like he'll be 7th. I think last year he was 7th in the voting, which is just like, it's just a head scratcher to me.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, we've gone pretty long here. Obviously, we've talked about a lot. The trade deadline. We talked about the Colorado disaster class online and also the great game that was. And then we've talked about Chicago. The last thing before we get out of here, we're going to talk about Vegas. Vegas, 7 p.m. Tuesday night, NAAC, game 3 of the 6-game homestand. Dom, you got predictions, score prediction, any game predictions? What do you got against Vegas, 7 o'clock Tuesday?
We normally play Vegas pretty well, and Vegas has not had the year maybe they have wanted. But I think they're coming off a back-to-back. It doesn't matter who's in net because I think both have been playing well. But I think if Jake gets the start, I think he's going to look really good. I think he'll face a lot of shots, which will be good for Jake. So I'm going 2-2 going into the third, and then we will just have a third period that would monster Vegas. It's too much pressure for them. So I'm going 5-3 final against the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, I like that. Vegas is at 72 points right now, so 16 points less than the Stars, but they're sitting second in the Pacific right behind the Ducks by a point. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They had a back-to-back last week in the middle of the week, and then they played the Wild on Friday, played the Oilers on Sunday, lose both of those 4-2, and now they're on the road here in Dallas. So, like, they're just not a good team, not a great team. They're not a great team. They're a fine team. They're okay. It is what it is. Like, I don't know what it is with Vegas this year. They're just not that good. They don't beat good teams. Like I think they have like 3 or 4 wins against teams over 500 this season. Like that's insane to me. Their record is 29, 21, and 14. If you look at it that way, they're under 500 because of the overtime losses. Like they're at a 56 point percentage there. Like they're not that great. They have a +4 differential. Like they're just barely above average. They're just above water, right? Like they're just not the team that we're used to. But that doesn't mean they're not hard to play against, right? There's still going to be big bodies. They're still going to be tough to play against. It's still Jack Eichel. It's still Mitch Marner. You still have those guys on the team. So it's still Vegas, but I like where your head's at with 5-3. I'm going to go 4-2. I'm going to keep the train rolling with the Wild and the Oilers there with 4-2 wins against Vegas. I'm going to roll it with a 4-2 win. I would assume we're going to see Jake and Ned after seeing Casey and Ned on Sunday as well.
Yeah, and it would be great to start the week. This is a hellhole of a stretch of games. To be without Miro, it'll be tough. But I think to start the week with a Vegas win, you'll gain some momentum. The blue line has been playing unreal in the D zone, and I think if we keep that up, we can weather any storm that comes our way. And the goal scoring has been there in the streak. And please, Maverick Borg, continue this heater. I don't know what you're eating, but continue to eat more of it. Continue to get on the bike because you are looking really fast right now.
Yeah, he's been real good. Those third, fourth liners, Adam Murney, Justin Ritzkovian, Oscar Back's been really good too. Maverick Bork, obviously, and they've been helping this team out tremendously with Mikko out, with Rope out. The boys needed some goal scoring, and the bottom six has really kind of delivered. And I'm just waiting on Robo to get back. Once Robo gets back on a little heater here, it's gonna be kind of scary hours. Obviously, you have Vegas, then we have Edmonton, Detroit, and Utah to end the home stand, and then you go Colorado, Wild, Vegas, Jersey. Like that's a hard month, and then you end it with the Islanders, Pittsburgh, Philly, and Boston. So like the last 4 games, I mean, the Islanders are pretty tough too. So the last 3 games of the season, not the best competition, not the worst, but these next 7 games, maybe 8 games, pretty tough there, and a lot of them are at home. So take advantage of being on home ice, take advantage of being with the crowd, and win some games. I got 4-2. You got 5-3 against Vegas. I'll be in the building for that one. I'll make sure I'm going. But yeah, shout out to DJ Y Chuli for winning the Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. Make sure you DM us on social media to make sure you claim your prize so we can send it out to you. Or if you're in Dallas, I'll bring it to the game. Dom, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Man, just, Jamie Benn has kind of snuck his way in the scoring sheet lately. He's been looking good. I knew we can't win every game, but every game feels like we have a shot to win, which is all you could ask for. And once we get everybody healthy, that's when you'll see the Dallas Stars look like the Dallas Stars. And I think these next couple of weeks, it's just going to be fun seeing the new guys get acclimated and get into the mix more and find their roles. And once they do that, we're going to see a very deep Dallas team play against a lot of deep teams in the West.
Yeah, after the deadline, when they didn't send anyone down, they sent Artu Huru down, obviously, and then Rope got hurt, so he got recalled back. You can have an unlimited amount of players on the roster. You just have to be cap compliant. I didn't know that, which is kind of crazy that we have like 26 dudes on the roster. But yeah, you just got to be cap compliant. So that's all it was. I learned that this week. That was news for me. If you didn't know that, you can have as many people on the roster as you want. So that's why Capo Bianco or anyone else hasn't been sent down or put on waivers. It's because you can have that many people as long as you're cap compliant. So without Mikko, without Rope, without Radek on the roster right now, technically, because they're on IR, you can kind of get away with a lot. So that'll do it for Clean Sheet Advice, Texas Hockey Podcast. Make sure to hit that subscribe button wherever you're at on YouTube, or if you get your podcast on Apple and Spotify. Make sure you hit it on YouTube, though, because once we hit 500 subs, we'll do another giveaway. 500 subs, 750 subs, 1,000 subs. Those will be the giveaways. And then after we get to 1,000 subs, we're monetized on YouTube, so that gives us more money to where we can give it back to you guys, where we're either giving out tickets or we're giving out merch or whatever it is. We want to be able to do that. So as long as you hit that subscribe button, tell your friends, tell your family, everyone in your family or friends that are Stars fans, hit that subscribe button, because as soon as we get to 1,000 subs, we're going to be able to do more giveaways. We're not going to have to wait on the subs to hit a certain number. We're going to be able to do more as soon as we get to 1,000, because we'll be able to make money off of the YouTube channel itself. we'd love to do that so we can give more back to you guys and the viewers. Like that's the goal. We want to make sure we're giving back to you guys because y'all are giving us something. So that'll do it. Clean Sheet Advice, Texas Hockey Podcast. We'll be back very, very soon with another episode.